Can't take the heat. Built by the Home Depot. So I mentioned it earlier, guys. Alabama has kind of been living by the mantra of survive and advance. Certainly over the last couple of weeks, they were coming off the close win to South Carolina last week. They have trailed guys in the fourth quarter in now 4 consecutive games. That is the first time that has happened for an Alabama team since 2007 when Nick Saban got there. So,
Unbelievable.
And I asked you guys the question, like, what is wrong with Alabama? I asked it last week, and I asked, is it fixable? We are seeing the same things kind of haunt this team now. So I'll ask the question again, like, are you more concerned by what you're seeing from Alabama on a week-to-week basis, that it may not be fixable this year?
You know, I am concerned, and I do feel like the loss today and the way that they lost, I really wouldn't be surprised if this team kind of like implodes on itself a little bit this season.
No doubt, yeah.
Right? Because,
it feels like it.
You know, just the penalties, just the body language. You know, there's certain things in the way that players are acting, I feel like, where like Nick Saban would have nipped that immediately.
The law penalty.
Like,
How about the
like
law
an
penalty
old
there?
grandfather would be like, hey, we don't act like that. You know, like that type of thing. And I think that there's a lack of that right now in this football team. And that's a big concern for me.
The law penalty. Like,
the
right?
law penalty,
Yeah,
exactly.
It's a perfect example.
Exactly. The defense, too. That's the biggest thing that we're forgetting about. Nick Saban is one of the greatest defensive minds in the history of football, right? And he did one coverage. It's quarters.
Right.
And I don't think that Alabama really does anything defensively the right way. And there's too much 3 down front, and you're letting a Tennessee offensive line, right, who doesn't even line up in running sets and spread sets, just overrun a 3 down front too often, and I think that's a big issue for me.
Yeah, and just to hit on the offensive line, they were dominating Alabama throughout the game. Dylan Sampson had over 100 yards before contact, and when you hear that, it means that the running back is just running through big-ass holes. But one of the other things that I was thinking about with this Alabama team, to hammer down on the penalties, they came into this game as one of the most penalized teams in the entire country. 107th nationally. What did they end up having this game? 15 penalties for 115 yards. How do you expect to win a football game when you continue to get penalized in huge moments? And that law penalty, the one that forced them to have a 4th and 22, was so huge because then they had to do this bull jive 4th and 22 pass to the halfback, and then it ended up leading to Tennessee getting that field goal.
And
so those mistakes are huge.
0 points off penalty, off turnovers.
Yeah.
And that's going to be a concern, right? You have an interception off of Nico. You have an interception off the backup quarterback. You force a fumble on Dylan Sampson early on in the football game. So the missed opportunities on those 3 turnovers to not score any points off of those, you know, that's not winning football.
And let's not forget what Alabama has coming up. I know we're looking at the standings, and guys, for those of you that are watching on the ESPN College Football YouTube page, we are going to have Heather Dinich on our show later on to discuss the college football playoff implications of this game. But there you see Alabama sitting at 2-2 right now. They have Missouri next week. Now, sure, you could make the argument Missouri's overrated, but the schedule is still difficult for Alabama coming up. I did want to say, to your point on the defense, Maddie, Alabama coming into this game had allowed 25 points in 3 straight games. That was the first time that had happened since 2003 in the regular season. So, there are problems, obviously, on both sides of the ball right now for Alabama. But at the same time, we got to give credit where credit is due. And Tennessee won this game.
Hey, look at Heupel.
Look at Josh Heupel out there. They're celebrating. The cigars are lit. I'm not sure if we're going to see a goalpost in the Tennessee River today, but that was what happened the last time that Alabama went up there and lost the game. But, yeah, fans storming the field. I got to imagine that goalpost makes its way down at some point, no?
Actually, seeing that scene right there, the goalpost probably is on its way down unless there's some cops over there. But, man, just what an experience for Tennessee. And
what's it like playing at night there, man? I know you played at night there.
Well, when I played there, I wasn't playing very well. So we didn't play at night that often.
Yeah.
You still got to strap up and get out there.
It's still an awesome environment, and to run through the tee, to be a part of the Volunteer, that nation that way, truly an honor, and it's special. It really is. And you know, it's hard to encapsulate with words, you know, what it is to play in the SEC like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, Vol fans. I wish I would have done better for you. You know, if I was better, I wouldn't be here doing this job though either.
Yeah.
So, but
Matt Sims, everybody.
you know, hey, that's life for you. But still, it was a tremendous honor and.
Where's
good
the
for Vol
cigar?
fans,
Yeah,
Well,
get
we
him
don't
a
have
cigar.
one. I know.
He needs one. Get it.
I don't do good with any, smoking paraphernalia.